Hi everyone, my name is Elise and welcome to my attic. Today I'm going to show you how to mount a fabric piece, either some kind of printed fabric or embroidery or needlepoint or any kind of fabric art. This one you can see is a little loose. I'm not sure what it's going to look like back there. I haven't opened it up yet, but something has gone wrong with this one and it needs to be remounted again, put back in the frame nice and tight and taut so it'll look good. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And let's see, yep, you can see pretty well. So there's a few things that you're going to need. It's actually a pretty simple process, but the main thing that you need is a piece of foam board. And now I always buy mine at the dollar store. It's a thinner type, but for this it works perfectly. And I think it's $1 a piece. I think it's their poster board. It's 2 for $1. So I always have this on hand. And then you're going to need regular straight head pins. And these are the type that have just the flat end on top. You don't want to use the ball type for this because you want it to really push down into the foam core. Okay, you're going to need the pliers I need to pull out any pins or holders for the piece itself in the back, and then the box cutters for cutting the foam core and also for cutting the back off. And then I just need a pencil of some sort to trace out the size of the backing that we'll need. All right, so let's see if we've got a good visual here. Let's get you a little closer. And let's turn this over and see what we've got. All right, you're gonna discover this the same time that I am because, I got this at a thrift store. It was $3.99. I thought it was really cute. I'm also gonna do, before I put this in my booth to resell, I'm going to repaint the mat and the frame, so it's going to look a lot different before it goes back to sell. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but I think probably a nice off-white color will make this piece sort of stand out a little bit more. It looks a little dingy in this brown frame. All right, so we're just cutting this paper off the back to see what's under here. There's a lot of tape here. Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah, see how loose it is, how floppy it is? This is a problem. I don't know. Okay. It's going to be tricky. Because they used too large of a frame for this. All right, well, I'll finish getting the rest of that off when it's time to put it back in the frame. All right, so this is what the pliers are for, just to pull out these nails so we can get this out of here. But I can tell already this is a problem. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna fix this. And as soon as I get this undone, I will explain why. A lot of people do this kind of stuff at home and they don't really understand the best way to do this. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, oh my goodness, this one's tight. This framing method for textiles, there's the word I was looking for earlier, is not meant for archival items. If you have an antique or something that you really want to protect, take it to a professional. They're going to use archival backing, tape, whatever. It's all going to be the kind of stuff that's meant to be non-acidic and not to degrade your piece. This is just for hobbyist type stuff. But not for professional or antiques. So keep that in mind with this. And here's the reason this is all puffy. So you can see they've just laid this in here. See, as it slips down, you can, yeah. So this is not good. Let's see what we've got here. They have glued the mat down to this, so that's not good. I was hoping to salvage this mat so that all I had to do was paint it, but I'm not sure if that's going to work. All right. Okay, let's pull this off. Oh, look, they even put a little padding under there. I don't know why that choice was made, but it seems to me it should be nice and flat for some reason. And it's yucky. It's all dried up, so this is pretty old. Yuck. All right. Very yucky. Okay. Oh boy. It's not what I was expecting in here. This is a problem. This was not done correctly at all. So, all right. Well, this is what we encounter sometimes when we buy things from thrift stores. You just never know what you're getting. Ugh. Okay. Not good. Okay, so you can see this doesn't even fit. Doesn't fit. Well, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure how to fix this. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to mount this, because that's what the video is all about. But then I've got to figure out what to do about this frame, because this should be mounted over a piece that's roughly this. I mean, I can't make it larger than this because it's got all this and it's glued on. That's not just going to come off of there. So it's going to have to be roughly this size, which if I do that, then it's not going to fit. And if I then put it in the frame with the mat, it's not going to fit nice and snug. I might be able to tape it down. Okay, well, let's just do one thing at a time here. Okay, what we're going to do... Now, normally what I would have told you is that you would use this backing piece as your template to cut out your foam core. But since we have a piece that's really smaller than the backing, we're going to use the inside of this mat instead. And hold on just a minute. Let me... I'll be right back. Let me clean this up a little bit. I can't work with all of this debris here. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I got this cleaned up well enough. Boy, that foam just made a mess. Okay, so what you're going to do is use this as your template. So I'm just going to place it down here on the corner. Much better. See how off? Way off. Okay. So now let's go with this frame is a bit off. What in the heck? All right, much better. All right, let's do it this way. And that's okay, that direction. Okay, sorry about that. And then you're just going to use your box cutter to cut along the line. All right, there we go. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because it's going to be behind. It's going to be in the back of your frame. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to center your piece over your foam core. And this one is pretty easy to do because you've got the folds from the previous. So even it up. And then you're going to start by folding it over in the center and tack it down with one of these pins. Now I like to leave them up a little bit to start so I can pull them out if I need to tighten it up more or loosen it up more. And pull the opposite side nice and tight. Now you want to get it snug but not, yeah, see right there we've got this showing. I want to make sure that none of that is showing. Okay, all right, here I'm going to go ahead and move this down just a tad. Okay, make sure we don't end up with that showing. On either side. Okay, you're going to pull it nice and snug, but you don't want to distort your image. So don't get too crazy. If you do pull it too tight and it starts to warp a little bit, then you can always loosen it up. That's why I don't pin them down all the way to start. And then you're going to go to each end and you're going to do the same thing. Okay. Okay. And then just keep repeating. I always do it, I'll do maybe 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and then after I get it nice and you know, pretty even all the way around, I'll add more to secure it. So let's go ahead and just get a few more in to tack this down. Yeah, I think this is going to be really cute once I get this all done. Get that frame painted, the mat painted. Brighten the whole thing up. I think I know what will work on the framing, but we'll have to see. used a lot of glue on this thing. It's really stiff. Okay, well, I'm just going to do the best I can here. Such a cute little picture. I hope I can make this look nice. I thought for $3.99 it was worth a try. I've had good luck with this on some other pieces, so there we go. Yeah, we're starting to see how much better it's looking already. Nice and flat. Okay. Okay. So once you have looked at it and you've made sure that it's not distorted and it's nice and tight everywhere, then you're just going to add more pins between the ones that you already have and get it nice and secure. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, it's looking pretty good. Now I'm just going to tack this down briefly just to show you what it's going to look like. Normally at this stage, the back, you're going to use tape to tape this down. But I just want to get it into a finished state to show you what it looks like. Whoops, I didn't get close, did I? Now, normally on corners, you can fold them over. I may have to clip these because it's got all this old tape on it and it's very stiff. I don't know if it's going to lay down properly. Yeah, it's pretty bunched up. So I'll have to fiddle with that a little bit. I'll probably end up cutting them. Normally you don't. The idea behind textiles is to keep the textile as complete as possible. That is really, that is stiff. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to turn it on. Yikes. Yeah, I've never seen anybody glue the mat to the textile like this. And all the ones I've redone, I've never seen that. So wasn't prepared for that. And I could possibly wash it, but it's always, you know, washing these can be really, you never know what's going to happen. You never know the quality of the thread that was used. If it bleeds, it could ruin the entire thing. Especially when you get needlepoint, they're often wool yarn, and it can shrink and wrinkle up the entire thing, and it's just a mess. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to clip these corners. This is just not working. But at least to show you what it's going to look like, this will work for now. Okay, so there you have it, and that's what it looks like. You can see it's nice and flat. It doesn't have that puffiness to the middle. It's not loose in the frame. Well, when we get it in the frame, it won't be. And that's how you mount a textile. So I'm going to go ahead and push in these pins. What you're going to do, see how they're at the top? You're going to just push them down so that they're just embedded slightly into the foam core. And by doing that, it should slip nicely into the frame. Now, in most cases, this backer board is going to be the size of the inside of your frame. So you're going to want that to be nice and snug so that it doesn't, basically so that it'll fit. If you're doing this with a piece that you have, when you cut that back, you want to cut it just slightly less under the size of that insert area. And you do that so that by the time you put this fabric around it, it's not going to be too large. So by less, I mean maybe 1/4 inch total. Okay, because you do want it to fit nice and tight. Okay. Get these nice and snug. All right, and then I'm just going to put this mat on and put it in this frame just temporarily, just to show you what this is going to look like. Now, I think what I may be able to do here is tape this down so that this stays secure. And then if I put another backing piece on it, I think it'll hold it securely enough in the frame with the mat, except it looks like, yeah, maybe I cut this a little too small. Well, we're going to have to see. And it looks like my frame needs to be glued too. This thing is falling apart. So, anyway, once this gets back in the frame, oh my goodness, look, even that, even the mat is too small. So yeah, I'm going to have to cut a new mat, which I don't really have the tools for that. But that's just not going to work. I don't know. Whoever framed this didn't really do it correctly, but we will do what I can here. All right, so when this goes back on here, and you put the frame down. All right, I was hoping to lift this up and show you, but it's not going to work because none of this is holding together. But that's what you get. Hi, it's Elise again. After I finished that last video, I realized that I had this other needlepoint piece on my table waiting also to be restrung, or I don't know what they call it, mounted, I guess, and reframed. And I didn't want to leave on a fail, so I decided to quickly get this one done, put it in a frame, and show you what it looks like. So this is a needlepoint piece that I found at a thrift store. It was just loose. It wasn't previously in a frame at all. And I just basically did the same thing. Cut out the back piece and pinned it in just like I did with the other one. And the back on this is a little bit different. And I just loosely put it in here for now because I am going to repaint this frame. I think it's just a little too bright of a white for this piece, but it does give you an idea of how different this type of piece looks in a nice bright frame. So there you go. I just thought it would be nice to see how it looks, how one is going to look completed instead of in pieces. That's all. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.